So Jay, just a few minutes ago, I got off the phone with the IRS. You are not going to believe what just happened.
Oh, so, I'm sure I can.
Okay. Well, first of all, it took, I think, an hour before they answered, which I guess isn't so bad. Covered California is a little over 2 hours, and they won't even answer the phone sometimes. So I got on. And the reason I was calling is because I amended my 1040. I filed a 1040X. I didn't even know it was called that, by the way. And I have this great new accountant. I'm working with somebody that Seth recommended because they actually solved a big problem for me. So I needed to hire this person. So they naturally did my taxes. And he did a great job. And instead of owing money, I ended up that the IRS owed me a smidgen back. Well, maybe 2 weeks ago, I got a letter from the IRS saying, you haven't paid us yet. And I was like, well, I don't want to pay you because I know I'm amending. And if I'm amending, I'm not probably going to have to pay you because I didn't think I would have to.
But the problem with not paying, then you go in a default. You don't want to do that.
Right. Well, okay. So I got a little nervous, and which is exactly what I did. So I jumped onto the IRS.gov site, and I went and I applied for one of their payment plans, figuring I could buy some time.
Yep.
And I said, I offered $300 a month because I owed like $3,500. So I offered $300 a month, and boom, they accepted it. I was super excited. I was like, okay, so $300 a month. If they take a payment or two, I'll get them back or whatever it is. Okay, well, anyhow, so I filed the amended return, and they owe me money. So I went to that site last night, and I figured I could go and cancel the payment plan.
Yeah, no such thing.
I mean, I was shocked. Anyhow, so it said call the IRS. So I copied the information, put it on my calendar for today, and I called. After an hour, guy gets on. He was super nice. And I said, I'd like to cancel my payment plan. He said,
if you were in front of him, he would have looked at you like you were nuts.
He said, well, I can't. I said, wait a minute. You owe me money, and I have a payment plan with you. I filed it. I want to cancel it. He said, you can't cancel it. I said, wait, you mean I can't cancel it today? It's going to take some time. He said, no, you can't. He said, it just doesn't work that way. I said, so wait a minute. So you're going to get my new amended filing, and then it'll get canceled, right? And he said, yes. And I said, so you're going to start taking money from me between now and then? And he said, yes.
Yeah.
And he did tell me that they're going to pay me 3% interest. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, the amendments have to be done manually, so it's going to take 2 to 3 months for that amendment to process for that to cancel.
Okay, so that's even more interesting. So the CPA that filed my return for me, I asked her, I said, "Where's my e-file thing?" And she said, "No, you have to mail it." Yep. And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Amendments have to be mailed." Why?
Personal amendments got to go in. They're processed manually.
Unbelievable.
Now, you can e-file business amendments though.
They're
the same form.
Is it because they're actually questioning your amendment and they need somebody to review it maybe?
Truthfully, I think it's just because they're that far behind technology-wise.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
They're going to review it regardless.
Right.
So you amend it and it goes through the whole process and they get reviewed anyway. But it's just a manual process that they have to go through.
So they owe me money, but they're going to continue to auto draft money out of my account. And then someday down maybe 3-4 months, they're going to realize that I in fact, am owed money.
This man doesn't owe us anymore.
And now they're going to reimburse me and pay me interest.
Exactly.
It's a pretty good deal. I mean, I'm getting 3%. I can't get that at my bank.
Exactly.
I should go back into the payment thing and actually add more money to it. I should give them like $10,000 a month. Now, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question.
Don't find a way to screw that up.
No, wait a minute. Now, let me ask you a question, Jay. This is now honestly, okay? Clearly, it's probably fraud, but let's say I set up a payment plan to pay the IRS $5,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I amended, and then I had paid them $15,000. They'd owe me 3% interest, right?
Yes. Well, they have the money. I mean, they're collecting.
I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that.
I realize that. But you have to have a tax return where you owed the money and file it and then create that legal obligation. So I wouldn't recommend doing that in the first
Well,
place.
you know, I am working on that. I'm hoping to owe a lot of money.
And that's always a good thing.
Exactly.
You know,
Hey,
people that are profitable always complain about paying taxes. But hey, imagine if you didn't have that profit.
right? Exactly.
Exactly.
All right. Before we finish this chat, I want to ask you, give me a tip for a business owner out there to legally and properly preparing for tax season. Give them one tip that they should consider or implement to try to reduce their tax liability.
Well, the first thing I would do is look at your structure. If you're an LLC and you're making a nice profit, you're getting hit with self-employment tax. So you want to look at that and see, maybe you want to convert to a corp and be treated as an S corp. So that will save you the self-employment tax. Although there are other consequences, you're still going to save about 7% in tax on that.
Wow. So, and that's based on a level. So, I mean,
Correct.
you have to hit a certain threshold before moving from LLC to S corp. And this is just in filing status, not necessarily changing the structure of your company.
Exactly. An LLC can elect to be taxed as a corporation and then elect to be as a small business corporation, S corp.
That is a really interesting thing. I bet a lot of people don't know that.
They don't.
Let's
It's sexy now to be an LLC. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm an LLC. It's the
Yeah,
thing.
but I mean, if you're going to pay more in taxes than an S corp, it's silly, right? Hey, let's end the call, but tomorrow, let's talk about this more. And what I'd like to do tomorrow is I want to actually talk about that LLC and S corp thing, because I have a funny feeling that our audience is going to eat this up, because I just learned about it. You're reiterating the point that I learned, and I literally, I think it was a lot more than 7% that I actually saved.
It could be.
Yeah, awesome. Hey,
It's
thanks for
numbers.
yep,
Like you said.
awesome.
There you go.
Thanks for stopping by and having a chat with me today. That's Jay Killerman, the digital CPA. I'm Eric Greenspan. I do that ProIgnite program. I also run schoolofbookkeeping.com and ignitization.com. So join them all. Help me make money. Help Jay make money. Hire this guy. He's a genius. And we'll see you guys on our next episode. Thanks so much.
See ya.